Hi, welcome to Between the Bags and Boards special issue of The Hobbit. I'm Matt.
And I'm Kurt, and we know that The Hobbit isn't a comic, but we're nerds, we can't help it.
So until the movie comes out on December 14th, we're going to do a set of videos looking at the backgrounds, lore, and history of the Lord of the Rings universe.
But today, first we're just going to do an intro into what is The Hobbit. So, let me ask you, what is The Hobbit?
The story of The Hobbit is a direct prequel to the Lord of the Rings trilogy. The story takes place about 50 years before the War of the Ring, and it actually centers around the character of Bilbo Baggins.
Actually, the book that you see Bilbo writing in the Lord of the Rings, titled There and Back Again, is this very story.
So the story centers around a group of dwarves led by Thorin Oakshield, and they are attempting to take their home back from a dragon.
Yeah, that's right. A goddamn dragon. I cannot wait for the CGI on this.
Yeah, anyways, Bilbo is hired by these dwarves as a burglar on the recommendation of Gandalf.
Apparently being small disqualifies you as a burglar. I guess that's where halfling thieves come from.
So Bilbo accompanies the dwarves on the long journey from the Shire, through the Misty Mountains and Mirkwood Forest, to the Lonely Mountain.
The entire story takes place in one book, and this is a considerably shorter story than all the Lord of the Rings.
Well, I think it's only fair to assume that Peter Jackson will augment the story with events only hinted at in The Hobbit.
Some of these things will include the mysterious presence at Dol Guldur and the White Council. We'll provide some more background information on these in some other videos we'll do later. But the big question on everyone's mind, or at least on my mind, is will this live up to the original Lord of the Rings trilogy?
I think it's always really hard for a second trilogy to live up to the original. You know, just look at Star Wars, for example. There was no way for the second trilogy to ever meet the expectations placed on it by the first trilogy. But one thing I do expect to see is a difference in tone.
In the books, at least, I feel that the difference in tone can be attributed to a difference in scale. In The Hobbit, we have a classic hero's journey, a single adventure, very well contained. The Lord of the Rings, on the other hand, is a multifaceted epic that is a fight for survival.
There's also the use of the ring. In The Hobbit, it's much more of a parlor trick or a tool, whereas if you compare it to The Lord of the Ring, it's more of a burden.
Nonetheless, I'm not sure that The Hobbit, the movie, will have the same kind of lighthearted tone as the book, especially considering there's already been a lighthearted Hobbit movie that's been ridiculed for decades.
Glasses crack the plates, that's what Bilbo Baggins hates. That's what Bilbo Baggins hates. So carefully with the plates. Blunt the knives and bend the forks. Smash the bottles, burn the corks. That's what Bilbo Baggins hates. So carefully with the plates.
Man, that song was annoying.
I kind of actually liked it, but if you think that's annoying, you should check out this song by Leonard Nimoy. It's actually a personal favorite of mine.
There in the land of the Shire lives a brave little hobbit whom we all admire. With his long wooden pipe, fuzzy woolly toes, he lives in a hobbit hole and everybody knows him. Bilbo Baggins, only 3 feet tall.
I bet there's some terrible fan fiction out there where there's like the Enterprise landing on Middle Earth, kind of like My Immortal and Harry Potter.
I would read that.
Of course you would.
Alright, that's it for today's short video.
In tomorrow's video, we'll be looking at some of the characters you'll see in The Hobbit.
Feel the love of beautiful things.
Kenethon le Eren Aradwan.